Everyone, thank you for joining me on the live today. I'm just going to connect. All right. All right. So thank you. Yes, I am live on all the platforms. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me in today's conversation. Oh, before I jump into the conversation, let me introduce myself. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Oyinkon Akimari. I'm a confidence coach and a workplace strategist, and I help professionals and leaders create the work experience and the work environment that would enable them to succeed. And so that's what I do. And today I want to start by asking you a question. All right? I want to start by asking you a question. Do you know anyone that tell you that they just go to work to clock in or clock out? They mind their own business, they face their own work, they just do what they're supposed to do, and they do whatever they're supposed to do just to get paid. Or let me make this even more direct. Are you the kind of employee that goes to work and you're like, look, I'm just going to face my business. I'm just going to do what I'm supposed to do. I'm not going to, put my nose into what is not my business. I'm not interested in anybody else's business. I do not care. I just want to do my work. If you are that kind of person, oh, hold on a minute. I think my video is not showing. Hold on, forgive me. Forgive me. Think I know why. Just a minute. Forgive me, people. Yeah, now you can see my face. So yes, I was talking about, if you knew anyone who tells you, or if you think about work as just going there to do your job, to get your paycheck, to move on and forget about everything. All right. If you know someone that's like that, or if you are like that, then permit me to share another perspective with you. Okay? Today we're talking about career strategies and how to become a high value employee. And I'm going to start by sharing why it is important that you are a high value employee. The truth is this: a high value employee is someone that is highly sought out. It is someone that everyone wants to work with. Every executive, business owner, manager wants to work, for them because they know they produce excellent results. They know they're an asset to the business, to the organization. If there's a problem to be solved or if there's a new project to embark on, are you the kind of employee that people would run to be part of that project, or are they running the other way thinking like, no, they do not want to have anything with you? In order to really progress in your career and to develop your career and to achieve all the heights and all the dreams you want, you have to become a person of high value. That, in other words, you have to be the kind of person that people always want to work with. They always want you on their team. They always want you on the side. And so for that reason, let me describe who a high value employee is. A high value employee is not someone that is overworked, is not someone that is undervalued, or is not someone that's just going about, poking their noses into everybody's business. No, that's not what a high value employee is. A high value employee is someone that always makes things better. Did you hear me? A high value employee is someone that always makes things better. That means that people want you on their side. Look, something of value is something you want, is something you cherish, is something you want to hold close to you. If you don't value something, it's easy to discard it. It's easy to let go of it. It's easy to move it around. But when you value something, you want to have it. You want it with you. And that is the kind of person you should be. You should be in a workplace where people are happy, where people are grateful, where people are reassured because you are there, because you bring so much value. There's so much you do. You're the go to expert. If you're the go to expert and you're helping people achieve stuff, you're helping people make things easier, like the business is better, there's more profit, the employee engagement is improved. Things are improving because of the value you bring to work. then it's easy for you to be promoted. It's easy for you to be put in charge of highly influential portfolios. It's easy for people to tell you to head something. It's easy for you to move from one job to a better job because of your proven success over the years, over time. So you see, becoming a high valued employee is essential to the growth of your career. Really, if you're not high value, you will struggle and it will look like people ignore you all the time. It will look like people overlook your ideas all the time. Let me tell you the advantages of becoming a high value employee. It gives you influence, it helps you connect with opportunities. You see, opportunities won't tell you when they're about to come, they just land. And when you are that high value person, you are able to seize opportunities. The other aspect of this is when you're a high value person, other people see those opportunities and reach out to you to join them to help them, walk through those opportunities to succeed. So becoming a high value employee is non-negotiable. It is non-negotiable. So to that end, let me share with you another perspective of becoming a high value employee. Like I said, it's not overworking yourself, it's not doing more than you should do, it's not like being everywhere all the time. No, a high value employee is a strategic employee. They know what they're doing. They're not just giving, 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 giving without knowing that they're also getting and getting. A high value employee establishes mutually beneficial relationships. They know that every step they take, everything they do, there's a benefit to the organization where they work for, and there's a benefit to them. And that there are skills that they gain, there are skills that they hone, there are skills that they sharpen that nobody can take from them. There are accomplishments that they achieve that no one can take away from them. It's something that goes with them from place to place, and they can always bank on it and show it and tender what they have done as a proof of the value they bring to any organization. So I'm going to go into how you can become a valuable employee, a high value employee. The first thing is to get rid of the mind your own business mentality. This mentality that everything is just about getting your paycheck and moving on. If you're all about getting a paycheck, then you're easily replaceable. I compare this, I usually separate employees into two broad categories: those with an employee mindset and those with an entrepreneurial mindset. I call a high value employee a employee with an entrepreneurial mindset. They go about producing results. Their mindset is to make things better. How can I make this better? How can this be easier? What can make it better? What can make it easier? And because they think that way, they walk towards it. They just don't think the thoughts and sit on it. They're actively walking towards it. They're thinking about it. They're looking for opportunities. They're looking for how to make things better. They're ready to prove their case. They're ready to step out of their comfort zone to achieve the things they truly believe can be done to make where they are, what they do, better. So you have to get rid of that mind your own business, myopic thinking mindset. The second thing is get rid of the employee mindset. An employee mindset is a mindset that says, you know what, I come into work, I clock in, do my job, clock out, go at the end of the week or at the end of 2 weeks, I get paid. You are much more valuable than what anyone can pay you. Let's be honest. The value you bring to any job, the value you bring to any organization is not something that people can pay for. As human beings, we bring in so much value. We hardly use a, a high percentage of our potential at any given time. So if all you're doing is to get paid whatever they pay you, and you're not thinking strategically of how you can get ahead, then you are really undermining yourself. You are undervaluing yourself. You are minimizing your influence and you are stunting your growth. Hear me well. If all you think about is just do your job, do what you're told to do, I'm not doing anything for anybody, I'm not making any more money for these business owners or for these CEOs, they're already rich enough, why should I do more for them? Then you are stunting your growth, because in not doing anything for anybody else, you're not doing anything for yourself. In not doing anything for anybody else, you're not doing anything for yourself, because everything that you do belongs to you. Like all the skills you get in trying to achieve a certain goal, all the accomplishments you achieve as a result of working on these things is yours. Nobody can take it away from you. So when you think that I'm not doing anything to help this business owner, they're making enough money, I just want to get my paycheck and move on, you are undermining yourself. You're not allowing yourself discover the length and the breadth and the extent of what you can do and who you can be. So, what do you need to do? I've already said what you do not need to do. You don't want to think that you don't want to have this mind your own business attitude. You do not want to have an employee mindset, which is just all about clocking in, clocking out, get my paycheck. You do not want to think that, oh, I'm not going to do anything to make any CEO richer. You don't want to think that, oh, all they're interested is making more money. I'm not going to help them. They're all greedy lots. If that's your thoughts, then you are just minimizing you're just you have a small mindset, you have an employee mindset, and that would not help you grow. Think about it. If you grow as an employee, if you have all these ideas, who knows, you could even start your own business as a result of this, some of the things you discover you want to do. So many startups, so many businesses have started that way, that in the bid of doing what they're supposed to do, in the bid of helping somebody else achieve a goal, they end up creating an opportunity where they start their own business. Being a high value employee is not just good for the business owners, it's not just good for the CEOs, it is good for you. It helps you get the skills that you need, that will make you marketable, that will make you even start your own journey along the way. So, how do you get that kind of mindset? How do you become a high value employee? First of all, recognize your value. When I mean recognize your value, look, you already have the job. They've given you the job. You have those minimum qualifications that made them pay for you, that made them hire you, that made that business hire you. But you see, you bring much more to that job than just that formal training. You bring much more to that job than the certificate you have from your graduate school, postgraduate school, vocational study. You bring in much more if you can just step into all the value you bring. It comes from your background, it comes from your experience. You may work for an organization that produces a particular good, and you're walking along there and you have people comment about that particular product. That is something your formal training doesn't give you. So your formal training is the least of the value you bring. The second thing is to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. What is that? An entrepreneur wants to make things better. They want to make money, and in making money, they understand that they have to serve people and they have to help people solve a problem. And by helping people solve a problem, they're figuring out, oh, how can they do things more easily? How can they do things better? That is an entrepreneurial mindset. And you can have that as an employee. You can have an entrepreneurial mindset as an employee. You can be somewhere and say, okay, how can I make this process easier for me and the organization? Because as you make it easier for the organization, you're learning how to do it, and it is a skill that you can transfer to any other department, any other job, and you can even branch out and start a business on that. So you have to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. The second or the third thing, I already mentioned the first one, to recognize your value. That means you bring in so much from your background, your culture, your perspective, your opinion. The second thing is to have an entrepreneurial mindset. You're thinking, how can I make this better? How can I make this easier? How can I solve this problem? The third thing you want to have is you have to learn to defeat self doubt. You have to learn to defeat self doubt, fear, imposter syndrome. Because as you develop these skills, as you begin to see the ideas you can bring into the organization, all of a sudden fear or self-doubt will rise up. Let's be real. You may want to share an idea with someone, and you think it's all good, and the moment you want to say that, something in you says, what makes you think people are going to even listen to you? What makes you think this even makes sense? Self doubt. You begin to doubt what you know is a great idea. So you have to develop the skills, and you have to learn how to overcome self doubt. There's a way you can manage it. There are strategies to work on how to manage it. I teach that as well. The final thing is you have to learn to communicate effectively. This is so big. Look, guys, the beginning and end of everything is your communication. And in communication, I am telling you, you have to learn to communicate in the language other people recognize. You have to learn to speak in a way when other people hear you, when they hear you, they're like, I need to hear what this person is saying. Now, it's not in the use of eloquent words. It's not just in the use of grammar or in the use of this or in the use of that. No, there's so much more to that. You have to understand who the decision maker is. You have to understand what their need is. You have to understand how you can help them make that need. And you have to understand how you can convince them that your idea is worth a shot. That is effective communication. It's not just the use of words or big grammar. No, you want to know, how does this person communicate? What is important to my boss? What is important to the executive? What is important to this business owner? You have to understand the business to a certain degree so that you can connect your ideas with how it would help that business owner. If you're listening to me right now and you cannot connect what you do to how it sustains the business or how it makes the organization you work for profitable, you've got to learn how to do that. You've got to learn how to do that. There's a reason why you do what you do. You have to know for yourself that these guys have employed me, but you have to understand how what you do helps that business. You have to be able to connect it. You have to be able to show it. One of my clients once spoke to me one time. He came for my workshop. And one of the problems he had is his boss told him that he knows, like, and this is my boss telling, my boss told me, I know you work hard, but I really don't know what you do for us. I can't really say what you do for us. Guys, if your boss can't say what you do for them, for the team, that's not good. You're easily expendable. They can easily fire you. They can easily move you to another team. They can easily move you to another department. When you tell them, look, I'd rather have work here, they won't really give you all that consideration because you're not that valuable to them. They don't know what you're there for. And the reason is because you fail to connect how what you do makes the business profitable, sustainable, and that is a problem. So, for you to be a high value employee, I'll say it again, you need to recognize what you bring to the table. And it's not just your certificate, it's not just your formal training, it's not just your college degree or your postgraduate degree. Listen, your ability to help your organization achieve its goals comes in many forms. You must recognize that value. So bring in what you know, bring in how the services or the products your organization offers helps people like you that think like you. How can you use that knowledge to help your organization? Value. Think like an entrepreneur. Never go to your boss without thinking about it from your boss's point of view. If you have an idea, if you have a request, an entrepreneur will not just think about, oh, I want this. They will say, look, I want this, and I know this is how we can help the business. The third thing I said was to learn to defeat self doubt, to learn to defeat fear, and to learn to defeat imposter syndrome. In other words, learn to defeat that voice that stops you from shining, that stops you from sharing your value, that stops you from sharing your expertise. And the fourth thing is you have to learn to communicate effectively with all your stakeholders, your boss, your team, and anyone you have to convince of what you do. Another client that attended my workshop just gained a promotion into a managerial role. And she had been there for a while, not just gained, but she had been there for a little bit in that managerial role, but she felt like she wasn't doing much. In other words, she didn't feel like she was bringing so much value. She felt that there was so much in her that she could give, but she just didn't know how to go about it. She wasn't confident of how to move forward. She wasn't confident of how to be in that role. And so she came to my course. So after the course, I asked her that, what was the thing that helped you the most? She said she gained the confidence to know that what she thought about, the ideas she thought about, was good. And she also learned how to overcome those doubtful thoughts that have stopped her so far. She knew the questions to ask herself and the answers to find and the practical steps to move forward. She understood the research she had to do to support the ideas she brings forward. That is what she got from this course that I had to give her. So yes, I would tell you that just following these four things I've told you, you will be able to become a high value employee, right? If you're just thinking about it, if you will, without any doubt. But if you really want to go one step further, if you really want to discover, you say, you know what, I don't want to waste time, trying to figure out a lot of things. I have so much value. I have so much to do. I have so much to give. I need to, move things on pretty fast. We're already at the end of January. I need to move things on pretty fast. Then I have a course for you. I have a course that would help you. Listen, as I was preparing for this live workshop, I didn't really even think of how little I talked about these valuable resources that is available to anybody from anywhere in the world. This is a course for anyone who wants to become a high value employee. This is a course for anyone who wants to be the go to for their organization, who wants to be the expert, who wants to know how to share their expertise with confidence, who wants to change the way they think so that they can begin to go to work, waking up each morning, knowing that as they step into work, they're bringing in value, they're able to overcome and to navigate the politics of the workplace. This is a course for you. And it would show you the value that you have to offer. I break it down and I make it easy for you to understand how to figure out your value, how to, look deep and see those other things that you have ignored. Look, you already know what you have. You've already spent thousands of dollars on your education, right? You already know you have that education. So it's not the education that I'm talking about. I talk about the other values that come from your background, that come from your previous experiences. I tell you what it is to be confident because that's the foundation of everything, guys. You must understand what confidence is. Because when I ask people what is confidence, they usually tell me about feelings. Forget about feelings. Who knows? Who sees your feelings? People can't see how you feel. They can only see what you do, and that is how I define confidence as the ability to take actions. You want to take actions such that other people will see you and like, man, this person knows what they're doing. That is what confidence is. It has little to do with feelings, to be honest. So you can be scared on the inside thinking, wow, will this idea work? Will they understand what I'm trying to say? But you go out, you've prepared, you've done everything you have to do, and you start to connect. And you start to connect the dots for the people listening to you, and they start to shake their heads, and you can see the understanding dawning on them. That is what confidence is. This course will show you how to be confident. Yes, I'm just reading some of the comments here. Oh, I didn't know this comment was there. Let's see. Oh, there's someone here that says that love thinking like an entrepreneur before asking the boss. Yes, you have to think like an entrepreneur. I've seen this happen so many times where you're asking for even simple requests like, oh, I want this day off. And you have not thought about it from the perspective of your boss to think, if I want this day off, who's going to cover? How's this going to happen? Well, how's this going to happen? If my boss says this, I'm ready for this. So when you go to your boss, like I want day off, and she says, oh no, what's going to happen? It's so short. This is less than 24 hours notice. You haven't given them a reason to actually consider what you have to do. So that entrepreneurial mindset is so important, guys. Look, when I was working, my first degree was in physical therapy. And for whatever reason, I've always just had this mindset that if I'm going to go to my boss to request for anything, I must be able to say, or defend myself. And, if she asks me, I almost preempt what she may, or, I've had mainly female bosses. I've had actually male bosses, but I'm able to preempt. I try to preempt what is this person going to tell me? I try to think if I were in their shoes, what would I say? So thinking like an entrepreneur is non-negotiable. But back to this course that I know would help you guys. Look, I tell people If you do not know how your business or how the organization you work for runs, then you are not equipping yourself enough. You must be able to understand the basics of your business and tie what you do to the business. And I go into details in that course. I go into details of even understanding the company culture because people don't even understand that. I'll give you another example. If you come from a startup culture where they are big on innovation, on innovation, they want things to go in fast and fast and fast, and you join an organization where they're so big on systems, and you feel like every time you have an idea and you take it to your boss, there's always something. She's always throwing a wrench, into the system. She's always telling you why it may not work, or she's always delaying you. You need to understand that it is not your boss being difficult. It's the system, it's the culture in that workplace. And there are reasons why those culture exists for that reason. So you need to change that mindset because that's pretty frustrating. Those are the things I talk about in the course. But what makes this course more beautiful from my perspective is the fact that it gives you foresight. Guys, foresight is one of the most valued thing you can have because if you are able to think 1, 2, 3 steps ahead, then you are able to help your organization. So I even go into how you can have that foresight, how you can think one step ahead, and how you can bring that value to the organization. Look, being a high value employee does not happen by accident. It takes intention. It takes intention. And that is what this course will do for you. It's called the Confidence Strategies for Professionals. Look, and when I'm talking about strategies, I'm talking about practical steps. Like I show you, if this happens, then this, what do you do? Like if you're facing a situation where you're doubtful, where you're experiencing a high level of doubt, how do you cope with that? Or if you know that something may happen, how do you prepare for that? So I have this section of the course under the mindset module is if this happens, then what do you do? So what that helps you to do is to prepare so that you're not caught unawares. And when you know you're 1 or 2 steps ahead, you have a bit more confidence and you're able to step forward. So if, for example, you have an idea and you're afraid that, oh, this idea may not go well or they may ask me these questions, you're going to ask yourself, if they say this, then I will do this. Or if my boss does this, then I will do this. I give you everything. I give you everything you need to overcome the difficult situations you will find in a workplace. And look, this is an immense value because it's so practical and it's so easy. And to top it off, I even share case studies of real life people that you could go search them because I didn't want to do people that no one knew anything about. I wanted to, talk about people that you could go research and you will see that these were the same strategies they have employed. These are the same strategies they used and they got to the height of their career. Some of them are still, you know, high up there. So, guys, I want you to really take a look at the Confidence Strategies for Professionals program because I am confident that it would help you. I will drop the link in below, in the comment section of this training, of this video, of this conversation, so that you can see it. It is an investment of $997 and you have access to it for 1 year. Now, I don't want anyone telling me 997, that's a lot, that's too much. Really? That's less than $3 a day, guys. $3 a day for your career. It's not too much. Let's be honest. $3 a day for your career, $3 a day for something that will be with you, that once you get the skills will be with you and you can always use it anywhere you are. Not only use it, you can help people, your friends, your families. It's not, it's totally worth it. So I'm gonna end this conversation by asking you a question. Are you a high value employee? Do people come to you willing and running to work with you? If you cannot definitively answer a yes to that question, then you need to enroll in the Confidence Strategies for Professional program because it will equip you to become a high value employee. It will equip you to build the confidence in yourself. It will equip you to connect the dots, to connect what you do to what the organization needs. It will boost and elevate your performance. Check it out. It's at boldandageless.com/confidence course. And you will see all you can go through it. The value is just immense. So I want to thank you for joining me on this chat, on this conversation. I try to do this often and I really try to share the value because some people will tell you or will tell me, I can't afford that. That's fine. If you can afford it, even with what I have shared with you today, there are tips you can get and you can do a little bit more research and it would still help you. Go search how to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Go search how to overcome self doubt. Go search how to recognize your value, how to share your values. It would help you. What my course has done is brought together all these resources under one space and created the workbook for you to follow and to take along with you even when you're done. So I don't want to waste any more of your time. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you in my next live stream. God bless and have a wonderful rest of your week. Bye bye for now.